My name is Zane Burr, and I'm going to be your Master of Ceremony for tonight. The original person that was supposed to do this had some conflict because of the change of the ceremony, so I'm stepping in for him tonight. I would like to welcome everybody on behalf of Michael and the Santiago family. Thank you all for coming to this celebration of Michael's journey through and in his achievement in scouting. If you all will please turn your attention to the programs on your tables. You can use those to follow along in the ceremony and keep track where we're at. All right, now if everybody would please give your attention to our color guard, Master Jasper Sarah, and he will now present our American flag.
Scouts, attention. Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Color guard, post the colors. Would the Harrison High School choir please do the national anthem? Scout salute.
And now at this time I would ask the honor guard to please bring Michael Santiago up to his place in the front. And now we are going to have a video given by Charles Anderson, or Mr. A. He was Michael's first scoutmaster when he lived in the state of Florida for Troop 686. mention that earlier, before the ceremony started, that our county judge, Robert Hathaway, stopped by to give Michael his congratulations, and also yesterday Scott Flippo, state senator, also came by and gave Michael his congratulations. They weren't able to be here for the ceremony, but they did do that. Maybe at this time, until Mr. Ivan gets the video fixed, if we could have Scoutmaster William Burr and former Scoutmaster Chris Sarah come up, and they're going to tell about Michael's process going through the different ranks and stuff.
In the past few Eagle presentations, somebody had a bright idea that we talk about some experiences that they have had with Michael. Now, I've taken Michael to summer camps, to Camp Lord, to Camp Spencer, 4 summer camps and just regular weekend campouts. But the best thing I got from Michael, for me, was his patience. Now, when you take 20 boys to camp, and they're doing their what normal boys do, a little loud and rambunctious, Michael's not that one. The only time he ever spoke to me is when he needed something, which was very often because he took care of himself. One of the summer camps, it was pouring down raining. Michael was in his tent, being very quiet, had the flaps open and just enjoying the rain while everybody else was playing in the mud. Wouldn't have any idea who that would be. So that's what I got out of Michael, was his patience. Under the worst circumstances, he was calm and cool and never got excited. Now, Mom and Dad may have seen him excited, but I don't know that I did. So at this point, does anybody else have a little story that they remember Michael by? And it doesn't have to be scouts, it can be friends, family. Well, you got anything?
Well, I should put that with my stuff where one of the things to go along with what Chris had said, I got Michael as he was a life scout when I became scoutmaster. And one of the things I saw most about Michael was his patience, his willingness. You ask him to do something, he's right there to do it. He also was to the point when I got him that you didn't have to tell him. He knew what to do. And he took care of it. He did. I got to spend a little bit of time with him. Found out he's very active within his church, as many of you probably know that. And one of the greatest things that I've seen is even under times of stress. I worked with him during his Eagle project, which we will talk about a little bit later, I'm sure. But during his Eagle project, I worked with him directly. And you could tell he was a little stressed, a little wound up about it, and concerned to make sure that it got done. But I saw him go from being like that to taking control of the situation, taking control of his Eagle project, and making sure that it got taken care of on the end. Actually, the next day, I think it was the very next day, or in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, after we had done the bulk of the project, I saw him out there again as I drove by after church, or after we went to my mom's, I think it was. Drove by there, he was out there again doing some more work to it, making sure that everything was taken care of and right. So that's some of the things that stick out to me as far as Michael is concerned, is that he's very patient, very willing, and wanted to make sure that things got taken care of. Ivan, did you get that fixed?
You know what? I played that on Saturday and I left it somewhere else.
It must be the same equipment we use for my sons, because you're having the same problems that we had.
Okay, so you don't have it out. Yeah, we'll do it. All right, Michael, let's start out with the first. You gotta stand right here. You think you're just gonna sit there all night? No, it doesn't work that way. So, you showed up at the first class with us. Michael started out in Florida, town. Give me some towns and numbers.
Tampa, St. Pete area.
Okay, there you go. Why he moved to Arkansas? Well, I guess that was his dad's fault. Because he could be surfing today instead of enjoying the beautiful weather that we have here in the Ozarks. As a scout, you sign up for you sign up in the troop. You figure out that's what you want to do. And you're given a few tasks by learning the scout oath from scout law. Hopefully you still remember that. And then after a short period of time, you move up to second class. Second class is a little bit harder. You get to learn to cook. You get to learn what backpacks are. You get to learn to hike. Maybe building a fire. And learning to use an axe and a knife and a saw safely. And I understand you still whittle? No, yes, kind of, sort of. I figured Sam might have something to do with that. After that time, they move up to first class. Second class, first class. At that time, they have to go on a 5-mile hike and move down the road. There you go. Come on, a second. There you go. At this time, they learn they have to go on a 5-mile hike using a map and compass. So you go down Tana Pine? No, that was a different one. Oh, no, that was when we were at Camp Spencer and I twisted my ankle and we didn't quite make the top. Yeah, I remember that. So, learn more outdoor skills, finishing up their camping requirements, learning more about how to cook, how to be a patrol leader, how to work as a team. At this point here, the young men are working together to achieve certain tasks, such as cooking, cleaning. After that, we move up to star. At this point now, they should know all of their outdoor skills. They should be able to take control of the patrol or the troop if needed be, and they step up and help out. And they start working on the dreaded 12, as most Boy Scouts will tell you, you have to have, there's 12 merit badges that are specific that you have to have. Oh, no, we bumped up to 13, 14. But in Michael's case, he needed the 12. So, by the time Michael got started, he was working on swimming. I understand you had a little trouble with that. Yeah, living in Florida. There's a little bit of water down there. First aid, that shouldn't have been too bad. And the fun one, citizenship of the world and citizenship of the nation. For those of you who don't know what those merit badges are, they learn about different communities, not only in our nation, but across the world. They have to meet with somebody and talk to them about their government, their surroundings, where they live from another country. That is one of the specifics of that merit badge. So it's quite painstaking sometimes, aren't they, Mike? And at that point, I will turn it over to Mr. Wilson.
I'm ready.
Yep. You're ready?
Take a brief intermission for
Wow, look at you go.
congratulate you for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout and also remind you of some of the fun that you had in Troop 686. Your first camp out was to the Florida Keys. Alligators, snorkeling and fishing, going to Key West for the sunset celebration. You snorkeled 500 yards offshore and saw lobsters and crab, jellyfish, barracuda, and even some sharks. That summer you went to Camp Daniel Boone in North Carolina. We played soccer and football at the Squirrel's Nest. And who could forget the ice-cold swim checks in Lake Allen, rifle shooting, archery, and rock climbing, whitewater rafting on the Pigeon River, and then dinner in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We went swimming and fishing and canoeing at Flaming Arrow and Four Lake, where we camped right on the lake shore. Boogie boarding and hanging out at the beach in Sebastian Inlet, where the waves were higher than our heads. We went canoeing on the Peace River and camped out right on the shore. We told stories around the campfire, and they were true, and laughed until our sides hurt. We went backpacking on the Osceola Trail. That was 12 miles through knee-deep swamps. That night, it dropped to 22 degrees, and since everything was wet, it froze solid. We went camping on Cayo Costa Island in the Gulf. We had to arrive by boat. You guys went swimming, snorkeling. There was great fishing. But I think the most fun you had was those jellyfish wars. I'll just leave that to everyone's imagination. One of our best trips was to the Yorktown aircraft carrier in Charleston, South Carolina. Staying 2 nights, right on board, sleeping in the bunks 4 high, where the sailors slept and eating in the same mess hall was quite an experience. We were free to explore all 8 decks of that full-size aircraft carrier. Your final camp out was probably one of your best. We camped out in the Florida Everglades, and not just at the edge. We rode 3 miles out into the glades on a really fast airboat and camped on a very small island, totally isolated from the rest of the world. We got up close and personal with some pretty big alligators. And what a blast it was, riding for miles and miles through the head-high sawgrass of the Florida Everglades. Michael, I'm really glad that you stayed in scouting after you left Florida. I know that you've continued to have some great scouting experiences. I'm really proud of you for reaching the highest rank in scouting, Eagle Scout. You're a fine young man from a fine family, and I know that you are going to be quite a success in your life. I wish I could have been there with you to celebrate. You deserve all of the praise and accolades that you receive at your ceremony. And we really, really miss you. I'm glad that you made Eagle Scout. Just know how proud I am of you.
The alligators actually why you moved the Ozarks. I haven't seen too many of them. The rest of them?
At this point, we're going to have Mr. Scoutmaster Bird come up, and he's going to talk about the ranks of life and equal.
Like I told you before, I became Scoutmaster when Michael had his life rank. During that time, a couple of the merit badges that he worked on was the communication and environmental science merit badge. Both Eagle required. And he worked through those, went on more campouts with us. Klondikes, where they said 22 degrees it got at night, and it got a little cooler than that on our Klondikes up here. And you know, he's done a lot of our campouts. And when he went, as he was going through the life to Eagle transition, doing the merit badges that he had to do to become Eagle, finishing up a couple of them, life-saving merit badge and a family life merit badge. All these, keep in mind, he was doing all of these while he's still going to school, still being active in his church, still helping out around the house, all the things that he does. Another thing I thought of, kind of. I know you helped eat some of the food, didn't you? Some of it's helping around. Another thing I noticed, and I had thought of earlier about Michael, and one of the things that sticks out in my mind, Michael went through a couple of different packs, a couple of different troops, his family moved, but yet he stuck with the program. He stayed in it, he came and he did the things that required, he learned. Hopefully he learned a lot from us. I know we've learned from him as we went along, and that to me says something for his character. He's a fine, amazing young man to be able to stick with this scouting program. As difficult as it was to move in and of itself, he moved not only his family, but he moved with to a different troop and had to learn all new people, all new ways of doing things, because every troop does things just a little bit different. Every scoutmaster has just a little bit different way of doing things. And Michael stuck with it. And so he was able to, on December 15th of last year, complete his board of review and receive his Eagle Scout rank, which is why we were here this evening. So, congratulations.
If you want to, you can go ahead and sit down. Adam, do you have the slideshow ready? Alright, and right now we're going to have a slideshow full of pictures from Michael's scouting history, and this is together by Ike.
Michael started Boy Scouts in Florida, and that was back when he was first grade as a tiger. And you don't realize being a tiger and now he's an eagle, that's almost 10 years. It took 10 years for him to get from there to there. He was a very active little boy, and we needed to get him active in something. So we decided to get him into Boy Scouts. For those little scouts that are here, those Cub Scouts, the main thing in Cub Scouts is Pinewood Derby. We have winner cards back there. Michael and Christina, siblings can work in the Pinewood Derby. They have first and second place several years in a row. And we had the trophies to prove it. I said we don't have the space to display it except for one or two. We can't forget about popcorn. Boy Scouts live out of donations, out of sales of popcorn. So when you see a Boy Scout coming closer to you, buy their popcorn. I know it's $15 a box, might be higher now. I mean, it's not the popcorn, it's the fundraiser that they have to do. The program has to be supported by somebody. Popcorn is one of the ways that they get it. This picture here shows, and this is how I'm so proud of my son. Swimming Mary badge was the hardest badge that he ever took. And let me tell you, seeing that little boy, only 11 at that time, struggling to stay afloat for 45 minutes, and 45 minutes only holding himself with the pair of jeans. Literally, he has to take his jean off and use it as a floating device. Christina and Michael, they worked together. Christina was in the Girl Scouts, Michael was in the Boy Scouts. They went along on that, and they both were active in their own. And let me tell you, we spent a lot of time on a lot of family camping. The first trip for Michael was to go to Daniel Boone in North Carolina, 600 miles away. And as you can read in the presentation in the program, I decided to send him a care package. And I think that was one of the biggest mistakes I would have made. He sent a note. And that note said, in his own writing, 11-year-old, Dad and Mom, I've been crying for hours. And I've been praying for hours.
There it is.
Can you imagine? He was 600 miles away. There was no way that I was going to FedEx to bring him over. This one here was a 20-mile hike, or the 10-mile hike. We happened to do that one in the middle of January. And you think that Florida doesn't get cold? 20 degrees. That's the one that Mr. A was making reference. Everything was solid the next day. I have a picture where I'm trying to warm up a can of soup, because that's all we can do. I mean, everything was solid, frozen. Thank you.
All right, at this time I would like to invite Scoutmaster Bird to come up, and Michael as well. And he is going to present to Michael his Eagle Scout Award, his Eagle Scout badge, the Eagle neckerchief, the slide, and his Eagle plaque.
One of the things that our troop has done, as far as I know, forever, is whenever one of our boys makes Eagle Scout, the troop, which is the rest of the boys in the troop, go together and use their funds to get the regalia that we're now going to present to Michael. First off, it comes with a plaque that he can display proudly in his office after he gets done with college, or in his room for now.
You better have me.
Says to Michael Santiago, Troop 132 of Harrison, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank, date December 15th of 2014. Also, he'll be able to replace this Life Scout patch with his new Eagle Scout patch that he has earned. I'll let you have that. And congratulations to you again. We'll make Chris stand there and hold that just a little bit longer.
Oh, this is great.
Comes with the Eagle Scout medal, worn. Let me try and put this on. Or can I just stand? I know. I thought it was going to be one of the simple ones, but it doesn't look like it did. He'll put that on over underneath his religious knot. This is his religious knot that he earned through probably one of his pastors along the way. That's another very important part of Scouting. What else we got? We got an Eagle card that he can put in his wallet. So if anybody ever questions him, he can say it.
Or if you're in Chicago and you lose your wallet, and an Eagle Scout actually finds it and sees that, he might actually call you up and bring it to you. That actually happened to a friend, a Boy Scout from this troop. Did lose his wallet, and an Eagle Scout picked it up, seen that card, found his phone number, and called.
Now, the neckerchief and slide were picked out by Michael and his family. And like I said, the troop.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
We just need to calm her down.
There you go. I'll give you a little advice from an Eagle Scout who has one of these. If you leave it on there and don't take it out.
Never take a
Never
slide
take a
all the way
slide
out.
all the way out. No.
Sorry, I'm.
There we go. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he wants all the plaque that Jasper is holding started about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. When I joined the troop, the scoutmaster at the time had a wood badge project. And he searched up all the Eagle Scouts from Troop 132 from the time it started, the second round. So it dates back, yeah, I know, it starts back in 1958. These are all the Eagle Scouts from Troop 132 on there. If you'll notice, boys, there's 4 left. 4 slots.
Who's gonna get it first?
So Michael's name is on there with everybody else. So if y'all get a chance, come up here and look at that. There might be somebody you know.
All right, at this point, I would ask everybody to please give your attention to the Harrison High School Choir as they give us their rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you guys. At this time in the ceremony is when normally when an Eagle Scout becomes an Eagle Scout, his parents or the Eagle mentor sends out letters to certain dignitaries in the community and in the nation, alerting them that Michael has become an Eagle Scout, and they will a lot of times send back letters of recognition for that. So this time I'd just like to list some of the people that sent back letters to Michael, and then later I'll read a few of those letters that he got back. He received a letter from House Representative Stephen A. Womack. He also got one from Harrison, Arkansas's Mayor Dan Sherrill. He received one from U.S. Senator John Bozeman, from Vice President Joseph Biden, from Deputy Correspondents for Queen Elizabeth of England, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, the Honorable George W. Bush, Arkansas State Representative Ron McNair, Chairman of Arkansas Eagle Scout Committee Alan Bush, Troop 132 parent Tom Fitton, and Ozark District Eagle Chairwoman Holly Langberg. Now the first of the letters that I was asked to read tonight is the one from our state governor Asa Hutchinson. And it says, Dear Michael, congratulations on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout from the this is the highest award that can be earned, and I commend your dedication, commitment, and perseverance. Your achievement of becoming an Eagle Scout illustrates that you are a young man who possesses leadership ability, willingness to work within his community, and a future bright with potential. I want to extend my personal congratulations and wish you well as you continue to excel in the years to come. We are all proud of your great success. Again, congratulations on becoming an Eagle Scout. And this one is from Senator Stephen A. Womack. And it says, Dear Mr. Santiago, congratulations on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. It is refreshing to see such a fine young man reach the pinnacle of scouting. I join your family and friends and fellow Scouts of Troop 132 in celebrating this milestone accomplishment. I know the road to Eagle has been demanding. There are many difficult and time-consuming requirements. I recognize your Eagle Scout project, which has served a worthy capstone on a journey meant to develop your leadership qualities. This achievement also says a lot about your dedication, discipline, and work ethic. It is my hope you will not see this as an end, but rather a beginning to bigger and better accomplishments. Congratulations and best wishes for future success. Warmest regards, Steve Womack. And this one is from our own Mayor, Dan Sherrill. It says, Dear Michael, congratulations on successfully attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. It is an honor and a privilege for me to join your family, friends, and fellow Scouts in commending you on this tremendous accomplishment. I know what a long road this has been for you, but the admirable qualities you have developed during this journey will help you through your life. Through hard work, dedication, and perseverance, you will become our country's future leaders. You have already begun that journey. On your way, I hope you will remain active in Scouting in some way and pass on to others the legacy of an Eagle Scout. Again, please accept my congratulations on this important achievement. Best wishes in all future endeavors. Sincerely, Dan Sherrill. And now I'd like to read this last one from the Honorable George W. Bush, our 43rd President. It says, Congratulations on earning the rank of Eagle Scout. Becoming an Eagle Scout is an outstanding achievement that reflects your hard work and dedication. Your accomplishment serves as an example of excellence and a source of pride for your community. With best wishes for continued success, George W. Bush. All right, now I'd like to open the floor to anybody here. It doesn't have to be a Scout leader. It can be anybody, family, friend, church leaders, to come up here and just give some words of congratulations to Michael, or tell a story about something that sticks out in your mind about Michael, and just that adds to his character. If anybody would like to come up. If not, that's okay. We have few space tonight.
Michael is officially the most nervous person in the room. I will say this. Whenever Michael and Christina both, whenever they moved here, our first thing was, bless your heart, sorry you're here from Florida. But they immediately became a wonderful addition to our program, to our youth group, and our little community that we have. And Michael is extremely gifted with people. It's a gift that he has. He's very natural with people, and he's an incredible communicator. But that's a gift that he's still having to work on. But he has a natural ability to affect people, and that's because of his character and his God-given gifts to communicate and to be a people person. So I have plenty of stories. We'll visit later. But what I want to say now is, this is a tremendous honor that you've received, that you've worked very hard for, and we're proud of you, and the youth group is very proud of you, and we've known about it for a while. But we want continued blessing on and continued success. And we're very proud of you.
Is there anybody else who would like to come up?
First of all, let me say congratulations, Michael. Michael, it's wonderful that you have accomplished what you've accomplished while you've been. I love it. I have a staff in my hand. Michael's dad actually did this staff. I don't know exactly why he's letting me present this, but he did it at my house. We have a little carving studio. Wonderful that you have accomplished what you've accomplished while you've been. I love it. I have a staff in my hand. Michael's dad actually did this staff. I don't know exactly why he's letting me present this, but he did it at my house. We have a little carving studio, and he had this staff and it had a big knot on the top, and we thought, well, what can we do with that? So we put a little eagle's head on there, and then we put a body to it, and it's got a snake around it. So it's kind of a it's got a lot of character and quality to it. And you know, life takes people many places. Michael, I hope this staff will take you in some wonderful places throughout your life. There's one quality that Michael has that I'm going to try to tell you about that is so very important to me. And that's family. I know that in scouting that they have a lot of things that have to do with outdoors. They have a lot of things that have to do with ceremony. They have a lot of things that have to do with doing things right and learning skills. When Michael has been over my house in the carving room, we've worked on the fleur-de-lis, we've worked on other things. Michael, did you cut yourself? Well, I didn't remember if you did or not. We've had a few boys, Chris, that have let blood. As a matter of fact, I think the last time we did one, we sent one to the emergency room. Did you get some stitches or something? The skills that people get in training is one thing, but the skills they get at home are another. And I have always appreciated Michael and his sister and the love that they have for each other. Michael, your life is going to change in the next few years, and especially this next year, because your sister is going off to college. And she's going to leave you, and you're going to say, I really miss her. And I hope that you keep that little note that says that I really miss you. I've been crying for hours, because I think that will mean a whole lot to her, and I know that that will happen. We're in a society and in a time in the United States where we look around and we think that things are falling apart, and many times they are. Many times they are. The only way we can make things change is through family and through love of family. So, Michael, that's my challenge for you in the future, is take family and love of family and do a good job of it. And I know you can. Thank your dad for making that. He did leave.
And now, if everyone would please give your attention again to the Harrison High School Choir, and they will be singing I would like to introduce former Eagle Scout and Minister, Mr. Stephen Powell, who will be giving Michael the challenge and charge to the Eagle Scout.
Michael, I've always thought that you are a very gentle and meek person. And that might not sound like a very masculine description, but it's a description that was given of Jesus. And so when you think about being a kind person, a gentle soul, that's something that I've always noticed in you, that you need to embrace about yourself. It's a quality that Christ had. You're a good listener. You're compassionate towards people. And those are qualities that I think will really, if you'll embrace them, will take you a long way through life. I've told you that before, and I still feel that way about you. And anybody who knows you real well knows that's true about you. We are thrilled that you have become a good man, that you've accomplished these things, but we are even more thrilled, from my perspective, that you've become a Christian man. And in that way, we are very honored to participate in this tonight. I'm going to be sharing with you an Eagle Scout challenge and then also an Eagle Scout oath that we will do after that. I'm just curious though, how many of you were involved in scouting as a young person at all? Raise your hand. Okay, so a lot of you. I had a lot of great experiences also as a scout. I was able to attend a National Scout Jamboree in Fort Hill in Virginia. I went to Philmont when I was 15 years old and was able to hike there. I have a lot of great memories. I'm pretty much a city boy, and so a city boy needed to learn some outdoorsy things, so it was probably really good for me to have those experiences as a young person. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a scout is trustworthy, and that is the first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but because of the vital significance of the example he sets for other scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the light of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop, his brother Scouts, makes him pitch in and carry the share of his load. And all of these help to build the loyalty that means devotion to community, to country, and to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle badge inspire you to loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has been a quality which men measure themselves and others. For a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but also the determination to stand up for what is right, trusting in God, with faith, with trust in fellow men. And he looks forward to each day, seeking to share the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with courage. The fourth obligation, the final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up scouting's trail, just as others helping him in his climb to the Eagle. The performance of a daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters a more adult life with continued service to others. The Eagle stands as a protector of the weak and the helpless. He aids and comforts the uncomfortable and the oppressed, and he upholds the right of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to be his best. You deserve much credit for having achieved scouting's highest award. Wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. And may the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward. Since I am a minister, I also want to share a couple of passages of Scripture, and I probably would even if I wasn't a minister. There are a couple of great Bible verses for young people. One is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no one look down on your youthfulness, but rather in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity, show yourself as an example to those who believe. Sometimes young people underestimate the power of their example upon others, even those who are older. And if you will do as Paul wrote to this young protege of his, Timothy, to set an example in speech and conduct and love and faith and purity, you will indeed show yourself as an example even to me as your future. There's one other scripture, and this is from Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and also the first verse of chapter 12. Rejoice, young man, during your childhood, and let your heart be pleasant during the days of young manhood, and allow the impulses of your heart and the desires of your eyes. Know also that God will bring you judgment for all of these things. So remove vexation from your heart and put away pain from your body, because childhood and the prime of life are fleeting. So remember also your Creator in the days of your youth. For all of us who are a little older, I remember whenever I was younger, my mom saying that life passes quickly, and I kind of scoffed at that. But now that I'm a little bit on the other side, I realize how true it is. So seize the day while you're young. Be God's man while you're a young man. Do something good in this world while you're young, while you have the energy and the vitality and the desire to do so. At this time, if you are an Eagle Scout, I would like to ask for you to stand. And Michael, if you would come forward, please, and stand here in the front. So all Eagle Scouts, anybody else besides these guys? Well, that just goes to show you, all you raised your hands that were involved in scouting, and look how many made the rank of Eagle. It's quite an accomplishment. This board may seem like a full board of Eagle Scouts, but if you think about it, it represents many, many years of scouts, and very few reach this rank. So at this time, for those who are Eagle Scouts, who are already up here, if you guys would please present the Scout sign, then you repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training and example, my rank and my influence, count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contact with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Howard. And now we're going to have some words of wisdom from the man himself, Michael Santiago.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I really appreciate every one of you, so thank you. And then the video that Mr. A, my old Scoutmaster, sent me really kind of hit me deep, and I really wish I could have shared that with some of you guys, my fellow troopmates. But as you can tell, the move to Harrison was a really big culture shock, and I lost a lot of my interest. Like, I used to play baseball like every chance I got in Florida, and I lost that interest, and I saw that I started beginning to lose my interest in Boy Scouts like less than a year after I moved here, because let's face it, going to the Everglades on a monthly trip is a little different than going to Camp Orr, so it was just a little bit different. So I started to lose it then, and that that really was probably one of the reasons, most of the reasons why the people who raised their hands that didn't make it to Eagle, they lost their interest after a while. And so all the Cub Scouts that are here, I'd really like to encourage you guys to keep going. It really does pay out in the end. And because not only, like, this isn't just a one-night thing that us three can partake in being Eagle and Mr. Steve, but it's really something you can keep with yourself for your whole life. And I really would encourage you guys to stay in it. And even the people that are still not as young, but still in our troop. And then I'd like to go to my, actually, still on the troop. They really like accepted me really quick. Like, I remember one thing, like, I wasn't in the troop for that long before they elected me senior patrol leader, like one of the highest ranks you could be. And as like, kind of obviously, I was really shy and timid at the time because I didn't know anyone. I kind of just moved here. And they accepted me like right away. And that's also what my church did. Most of the people that you see here, they accepted me right off the bat, and I really appreciate that. And if it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be half the person that I am, that you guys have said that I am. And I really appreciate all that, honestly. And, oh crap, I was going to say something else. Yeah, seriously, thank you guys. And this really does mean a lot. And then it's now, okay, yeah, so my two parents, would you please come up here? Now. I'm gonna give them the parents' pins for my my Eagle Scout rank. So yeah. Oh, drive to like Harvey Kiss now? That's what you're Okay, and now I'm going to give 2 pins to 2 mentors that helped me through all the stages of my life. And one of them is Bo Bennett, if you could please come up here. Bo's one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life, and he's my youth leader, if I haven't stated that. And he's been a fantastic influence my entire life, and he's a great person. You should get to know him.
I trust you.
But he's also been with me through the time that I saw the hardest in my struggle to stay in Scouts, because that's when I started losing interest in like the second half and the first half, honestly, all throughout. But he really pushed me a lot and allowed me to get to this point, so thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite Minister and Mr. Bo Bennett to give the benediction.
Let's pray together. Thank you, Lord, so much for today. Thank you for your kindness and love for us. Thank you for allowing us to be your children. Lord, we're so thankful for Jesus and all that he means to us, and then for him sacrificing his life on our behalf. And Lord, tonight we're so thankful for Michael and for his family.
for this achievement, this thing that he's worked for, this accomplishment that he's now getting. Lord, we pray that you continue to bless him throughout his life. Pray that he would continue to be a leader in the world, Lord, and in the church. And I pray that you would continue to grow in him these qualities of leadership and this being a wonderful communicator and a people person, Lord, that you continue to grow those qualities in him as he serves the world around him. And I pray that that will all be done to your glory. Lord, thank you for this time together tonight, for all the people that are here to honor him. Please be with us as we go throughout the rest of the evening and as we share this meal and refreshments later together. Again, Lord, we're so thankful for Jesus and all he means to us. And it's in his name that we pray. Amen.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bennett. Now at this time, I'd like to have you guys give your attention back to Jasper Sarah and the color guard, and they will be retrieving the colors.
Scouts, attention. Color guard, advance. Scout salute. Color guard, retrieve the colors. Color guard, return to post. Color guard, halt. 2.